Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessOfTrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing well. Happy Monday. Guys, take a moment out, support the channel. All I ask is click that like button, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hopefully I will continue to point you in the right direction. So let's talk about it. I had one of the weirdest days probably today, and that I had in a very, very long time. I'll show you the pivots in a second. And when you look at the pivots and you go, wow, how can you have a weird day? That was a hell of a day, right? Sometimes I always say, I always talk about this. You could have the greatest laid out plan in the world, and something in the universe sometimes once in a while just kind of throws a wrench into your plan and things go sideways. If you've been following along for the last, 7, 8, 12 sessions, you know the aggressive nature of the market. And all I kept on reminding everybody, yes, I want to participate in the market. I want to participate in the long side, but leave everything that had a big, big run alone, because what's going to happen is if it pulls, right? If it pulls, right, from the big, big levels from the 112 floor and it loses the previous day's low, there's a really good chance you're going to get pulled. So if you follow along, and I tweeted out on my Twitter feed pre-market, I'm like, well, there's a semiconductor, right? There's a semiconductor out there that hasn't participated in Friday's massive rally. It hasn't gapped up today. I want to watch it. Obviously, that name was Marvel. But the funny part about it is I was so ready for kind of a backside move of the market, I kind of let everything else kind of get away from me. And I'll explain to you what I mean in a second. So let's talk about it. And kind of let's reverse engineer this, right? So I talked about, if you look at the pivots today, you turn around and say, Dan, how can this be a crappy day, right? Like, how can this possibly be a crappy day? You had Tesla here, right? Losing earnings lows. Tesla went from 370 all the way down to 364. Like, how could that be a bad day? Marvel, right? Marvel was great, right? Marvel was absolutely great. I shorted Marvel. Went down to like 151 from the 157 area. Everything was great, right? For all you guys who caught ARM went down $8, lost the previous day's range. Google went from 347 to 353. How can this possibly be a bad day? Okay, let's turn around. Let's talk about it. So obviously, when you look at the previous runners, right? And the previous runners were ARM, right? ARM and AMD, right? AMD and Marvel. You can make an argument those three went parabolic. So the old adage is, like I explained a minute ago, if a stock loses the previous day's range, it's probably going to get hit. So I shorted Marvel, right? I shorted Marvel, and Marvel got hit, man. Marvel got hit, came down, made about 5 points, got down to a small runner. Everything was good. Didn't make a difference that I got stopped out break even on my runner. Everything was all good. So the question is, well, how the hell did I mess up this day? Well, let me explain. So while I was shorting Marvel, which was great, okay, I missed ARM, okay, which was fine. Okay, again, how many of these things are going to trade at one time? So I missed ARM. ARM went from 218. Again, you can see here on the pivot, right? 218 held twice as a short. Again, for all you guys, congratulations who caught ARM. So it went from 218 all the way down to 210. Okay, no big deal. If they all go at the same time, how can you trade all of them? Okay, that's fine. But here's where things got a little bit tricky. And this is where, I don't care how many years you're trading, kind of your humanity comes out, and you overthink things and you overcomplicate things and you turn nothing into something and something into nothing very, very quickly. So I looked at Google and I looked at this 347 level, right? I looked at this 347 level, and you can see here, this is one of the, really, really good pivots. 347.10 needs to confirm the pre-market highs. So Google starts confirming the pre-market highs at 347. You got 350 calls coming in, 355 calls. And I turn around, and while I'm in the middle of the Marvel trade and I'm seeing these semiconductors lose steam, I'm like, well, wait a minute. How can we possibly go long anything, right? How can I possibly go long anything if I'm short the strongest group and we're expecting some sort of backtest in this group? Well, how can I go long? Obviously, I don't go long, right? And I watch Google go from 347 to 353, right? Smoke them if you got them, okay? So that was a problem. So then I short Tesla, right? I short Tesla. So I wound up missing the 370.70. So I wound up shorting 368. It goes down $1, right? Very, very quickly. I cover some, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, I'm short from 368, not from 370s, because it went too fast. Again, congratulations, all you guys who caught the 370. It starts going down. I cover some. It starts snapping back up, right? Starts smoking back up. I use break even as my stop. Again, no big deal. Took a little bit of cash flow. So then Tesla starts losing the opening range at 367. This is where my day went completely into, like, I don't want to use the word spiral mode. I don't want to be dramatic, but this is kind of where you have the greatest plan in the world and technical action to follow, and then you still mess it up. So Tesla goes from 367, and I shorted 367 once again off the opening range low. It holds, it squeezes me back out $1. Okay, not a big deal. Again, when something holds off an opening range, that's your first client to get out. So no big deal, no harm, no foul. And then I start doing dumb-ish, right? I started doing dumb shit, right? I see these semis reverse, so what do? I short Qualcomm. Qualcomm goes red. You never, again, I always maintain this. Green to red is not it's not a technical go. Okay, green to red is just green to red. So what happens? I short Qualcomm, goes down 30 cents, and then squeezes me back out. Okay, no big deal. I lost like 65, 70 cents. Not a big deal. So where does my day start to unravel? It starts to unravel on nonsense. So I start shorting Circle. Circle of all things, right? Circle goes down again, 40, 50 cents, squeezes me out $1. At this point, I'm like, yo, this is just stupid. You know, little by little, I'm getting, right? I'm getting the paper cut. And this is the one, and then this is the one that was like kind of like the icing on the cake. So I get long Meta on the 200-day reclaim, right? The 200-day reclaim, it goes up like 60, 70 cents, and then the market starts pulling. Now, keep this in mind. This is when the semiconductors are getting pulled. So I'm saying to myself, it just doesn't have enough juice, right? It doesn't have enough juice to go. So make a long story short, I lose $2 in Meta, right? I lose $2 in Meta, and then everything else starts getting strong at one point. Like literally strong at one point, and I turn around and I go, man, this is really not my day. So the moral of the story is very simple, right? Once in a while, you'll have a day that you are prepared for it. It starts off very, very well. Your data is right. Your thinking is right. Everything is right. And then you're going to screw it up. And you know why you're going to screw it up? Welcome aboard, folks. We are all human beings. We are flawed, right? We are flawed. So again, you could sit there and moan and bitch and this and that and no, it's not fair. Nobody cares. Work harder, right? You're going to have days in your career that you can walk on water, and you're going to have days in your career that you're going to have a brain fart and you're going to overtrade and do dumb stuff, and things are just not going to make sense to you, and the price action is going to be wrong even though it was right, and you're going to look up and you turned a start of a good day into a red day. But you know what? Guys, that is the cost of doing business. Take a deep breath, right? Take a deep breath. You're going to have a lot of these days. They're just not going to be able to get heads or tails. Everything you do is wrong. Stock selection is wrong. You're going to get paper cut to death. At some point, you got to take your hand off the keyboard and say, no mas. I am done for the day. Tomorrow, back on the saddle. Because again, the one thing we've always known in this trading space is every single day is its own momentum. Every single day is as good as the momentum and value you're going to get. And some days you're going to be the pigeon, and some days you're going to be the windshield boy in full effect. Day's over. Let's move on. The continuation of this runaway train in the tech space, certain names in the tech space, is just absolutely marvelous. SanDisk today continues to run. Micron today continues to run. Google, which I passed on, continued to run. NVIDIA is starting to get that look of parabolic mania, continues to run. So the question is, what happens for tomorrow? Again, I will stick to my guns, want to participate to the upside. I just don't want to participate to the upside that are overextended. Hence what happened today with AMD, with Marvel, with ARM, right? Again, you have to kind of maneuver yourself that you want the exposure on the momentum side, but you have to have common sense. I'm okay with a red day. I don't want to lose money, right? So you can't do the same things over and over again and try to play catch up for the next days on the previous day's value. It just doesn't work that way. So what do we like for tomorrow? I'm going to watch Meta again. Gonna watch it again. Again, how many stocks, especially in the technology space, are sitting there on the 200-day moving average? I deserve to watch it again. I caught it on Friday really, really well. Lost a couple of bucks in it today. Not the end of the world. But the point is, it reports on Wednesday. And Wednesday, we're going to have a massive, massive earnings cycle of, your favorite companies, my favorite companies. We all love them, right? Wednesday, we got Amazon. We got Meta. We got Microsoft, right? We got Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, right? We have a lot of stuff going on. So is it possible they run up Meta ahead of earnings? To be determined, but I am going to watch it. That 200-day moving average is a big, big deal. Today, unfortunately, I was only able to get like $1 move off the major moving average. Let's see if tomorrow is going to be better. The key for me is I would like to see buyers come in with deep out of the money calls. Even if they're betting, right? Even if they're betting into earnings, I'd like to see them fire up the stock ahead of earnings, because all these stocks have ran, right? Google has ran, Amazon has ran, Nvidia has ran. They all have ran, with the exception of Meta. So Meta, I'm definitely keeping an eye on this thing for tomorrow. Let me see what else I like. 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 Amazon rested today, right? Rested today, inside day, after this massive move on Friday. Let's keep an eye on this thing. If this thing wakes up, tomorrow. AMD, let's keep an eye on these other semis, just in case they have another leg down. I want to watch AMD below today's channel. Again, not saying it's going to go down, but just in case it does, I want to be prepared. So AMD, I want to keep an eye on it tomorrow through today's channel, and ARM as well, right? ARM as well, to see if we have a multiple day move to the downside. Let's keep an eye on Google again. Keep an eye on this thing above today's range. Let's keep an eye on Amazon above Friday's range. Let's keep an eye on that. And Apple. Apple is a weird stock. Apple is kind of sitting here above the 50-day moving average, but it has very, very weird tendencies. It held the bottom range here twice in a row in case there's a pull. And again, I know it's crazy to say, but in case there's a pull, I want to keep an eye on Apple as well. And Tesla, again, very, very odd day in Tesla, right? So Tesla loses not only the 20-day moving average, it lost the earnings lows, right? It went down. I had such a weird day with Tesla. I made $1, then I lost $1, and then I rejected it, made like 70 cents, and I tried to balance it, lost like 40 cents. Like, I just couldn't get anything going today. So it's just one of those days that when we talk about short memory, hell, I'm going to have a short memory. The most important part, again, guys, and I can't stress this enough, I know it doesn't feel like any of these stocks are ever going to come down, but it's very important. You got a glimpse today very, very quickly what happens if a stock that is overextended loses the previous range. It was a really, really, really important stick save today by the bulls, but ARM lost $8. AMD lost like $10. Marvel lost like $6. I know it's not, from an investment point of view, it's not a big deal, but from the trading aspect, these are pretty big moves, 6, 7, 8 points at a shot. And the key is, again, if you see something that's so overextended and you feel like you're missing it, yes, you missed it. That's the whole point. You did miss it. If a stock goes from 100 to 170 in 2 weeks and you're looking to buy it at 170, yes, you missed it. If you think something is overextended, it probably is. So again, short memory, bonehead day today, had a brain fart, traded like a putz. And the most important part is it's over. The past is the past. We don't live there anymore. Back on the horse tomorrow. Guys, have a great night, everybody. God bless. And let's see what kind of trouble we could get into tomorrow. Take care.